This is the story of writing for December 13th, 2024. On this day in 1623, the Plymouth colony in North America established the system of trial by a 12-person jury. It eventually became the standard across the colonies, and then the United States. And it was on this day in 1636 that the Massachusetts Bay Colony put together 3 militia regiments organized to defend the colony against the Pequot tribe. And so this has come to be the date recognized as the founding of what is now the U.S. National Guard. A warning that this next item mentions a violent atrocity of the Second World War. On December 13, 1937, Japanese forces began the Rape of Nanjing, formerly westernized as Nanking. At the time, it was the Chinese capital, with a population of 600,000. 6 weeks later, Japanese forces had murdered half the city's residents. In those 6 weeks, Japanese soldiers also designated tens of thousands of people as comfort women. These women were enslaved and repeatedly raped by Japanese soldiers for nearly 8 years until the end of the Second World War. A few weeks after the atrocities began, a group of Western doctors and businessmen used Red Cross flags to create an international safety zone. It was only about 2.5 square miles, but it would soon hold nearly every Chinese survivor. There is consensus among historians that if this safety zone had not been designated, the number of massacred people would be much higher. It is the birthday in 1363 of Jean Gerson, the poet and educator believed to be the first to articulate the concept of natural rights. These have come to be known as the basic and essential human rights, which are not dependent on legislation or a legal system. These are the rights described in the U.S. Declaration of Independence as unalienable and imprescriptible in the French Declaration of the Rights of Man. Gerson was also a chancellor of the University of Paris and a supporter of Joan of Arc. And it is the birthday of the musician who wrote, "You'll come back each time you leave, 'cause, darling, I'm a nightmare dressed like a daydream." American singer-songwriter Taylor Swift was born on this day in 1989. She is best known for her music that spans genres, her wildly successful concert tours, and her writing that resonates deeply with listeners, and often with her detractors who praise her lyrics until they learn who wrote them. Swift says her writing technique at times involves identifying emotions, then pairing words and meaning to melodies. NPR music critic Ann Powers called Swift, quote, "a master of the vernacular" in her lyrics. Powers noted Swift's songs emotionally engage with listeners, partly because the wit and clarity of her arrangements turned them from standard fare to heartfelt disclosures. Today's reading is from Persuasion, written by Jane Austen and published in 1817. I do not think I ever opened a book in my life which had not something to say upon woman's inconstancy. Songs and proverbs all talk of woman's fickleness, but perhaps you will say these were all written by men. Perhaps I shall. Yes, if you please, no reference to examples in books. Men have had every advantage of us in telling their own story. Education has been theirs in so much higher a degree. The pen has been in their hands. I will not allow books to prove anything. And that is the story of writing for December 13th. Thanks for listening.